Hello everyone, it's Seth, probably better known as Saffron Olive, and it's time for another edition of Budget Magic. So this week, we are heading to Rivals of Ixalan Standard to play with one of my new favorite combos. That is Combustible Gearhulk along with Ghalta Primal Hunger. I'm calling this one Ghalta Gearhulk Ramp. Kind of a dinosaur flavored deck with combustibles thrown in because the value is just so good, especially with Ghalta Primal Hunger. As you can see, $97 in the paper world, 27 ticks on Magic Online, so not a bad price for a really fun deck. A quick reminder before we break down Ghalta Gearhulk Ramp for Standard. If you enjoy this deck, and you enjoy Budget Magic in general, it would be amazing of you if you'd take a quick second, click that subscribe button down in the corner of your screen. It's a great way to support the channel and the site for free. So let's talk Ghalta Gearhulk Ramp, starting with Ghalta Primal Hunger, kind of the biggest, baddest card in our deck. So Ghalta, 12 mana, 12/12 with Trample. However, it can be a 2 mana 12/12 if we get enough stuff on the battlefield. Basically, gets cheaper where X is the total power of creatures we control. So if we have 10 power worth of creatures, Ghalta is a 2 mana 12/12. Of course, it's legendary, which is a downside, but this is kind of the focal point of our deck because we're looking to abuse Ghalta in multiple ways. So the key synergy of the deck is Ghalta with Combustible Gearhulk. So Combustible Gearhulk, 6 mana 6/6 with First Strike, enters the battlefield. Opponent has a choice. They either let us draw 3 cards, which is usually pretty awesome. Drawing 3 cards and getting a 6/6 First Striker is a pretty good deal for 6 mana, or they mill 3 cards and take damage equal to the converted mana cost. So the awesome part about Ghalta with Combustible Gearhulk is it works both ways. So let's say we cast Combustible Gearhulk. Our opponent's like, alright, we'll let you mill the cards. If we mill a Ghalta, that's 12 damage by itself. If we mill 2 Ghaltas, or Ghalta plus some of our other expensive stuff, Ghalta plus Gearhulk, let's say, that's 18 damage. We can theoretically just kill our opponent with 1 Combustible Gearhulk directly to our opponent's face if they choose to let us mill the cards. On the other hand, let's say our opponent's like, alright, draw the cards. We don't want to take this damage, draw the cards. If we draw a Ghalta, we have a 6/6 in Combustible Gearhulk, so even if we're on an empty board, which is pretty unlikely, then Ghalta is a 6 mana 12/12 trample, which is already insane, and if we have a couple other creatures out, Ghalta's probably 2 mana, so no matter what choice our opponent makes with Combustible Gearhulk, because of Ghalta, the choice is really going to benefit us. The rest of the deck, we have some kind of dinosaur synergies. The dinosaurs are not necessarily tribal based. I guess Regisaur Alpha sort of gives it a tribal theme, like that's the dinosaur payoff, giving all of our other dinosaurs haste, but they're mostly just big creatures that support what we're trying to do, help us stay alive until we get to our combustibles, give us power on the battlefield till we get Ghalta. So Regisaur Alpha in specific kind of gives us an additional nut draw. Like, our best draw is just combustible, mill some Ghaltas, kill you directly. But being able to go like Ripjaw Raptor into Regisaur Alpha, into hasty Ghalta for a really low mana cost, swing with all of our hasty dinosaurs, trample over, win the game, that's kind of our backup nut draw. Plus, Regisaur Alpha is just a good card. We're getting 7 power and toughness across 2 bodies, some of it with haste and trample for just 5 mana. Ripjaw Raptor stalls out the game in the 4-drop slot, gives us something we can play on turn 3 after casting a ramp spell on turn 2, works well with some of our removal, and then Thrashing Brontodon, just a 3-drop. Hedges against things like Heart of Kirin, which can be annoying to beat, or other artifacts. Pretty reasonable body, although it's a little awkward because we really want to be ramping, if we can, up to our bigger stuff rather than playing smaller things. As far as our ramp, we got Drover the Mighty and Thunderherd Migration. So the upside of Drover the Mighty is it's often going to be a 3/3 for 2, which is already a pretty good deal. The downside of Drover the Mighty is it dies to Fatal Push. So we sometimes have clunkiness if we're trusting on Drover to ramp us into Ripjaw Raptors and Regisaur Alphas and Combustible Gearhulks, where our opponent just Fatal Pushes it, and then we have a really clunky hand. So it's kind of a give and take there. Thunderherd Migration, on the other hand, the upside is it's a 2 mana ramp spell most of the time in our deck since we have so many dinosaurs, just a straight up rampant growth. Downside is it's not a 3/3 creature, so it avoids the removal. It's more consistent as long as we have a dinosaur in hand, not dying to removal, but we don't have the extra power of sometimes going like Drover, over, casting something, they become 3/3s, makes our Ghalta cheaper. Regardless, both of them just ramp us into our bigger stuff a turn earlier in the game. We also have a little bit of spice in Mouth to Feed. So Mouth to Feed is filling out our 3-drop slot, also supporting Combustible Gearhulk and giving us a way to draw some cards. So Mouth to Feed counts as its combined converted mana cost as far as Combustible Gearhulk is concerned. So if we mill over this card, it hits our opponent for 7, which means Ghalta plus Mouth to Feed is 19. Just those two cards. So any other non-land card is lethal. It also works really well with the theme of our deck. All of our creatures have potential to be power 3 or greater, including Drover the Mighty. So if we mill it with a combustible, we can aftermath it back, draw 3, 4, 5 cards, which is a great deal for free from our graveyard. And making a 3/3 hippo, I mean, it's not exciting, a 3-mana 3/3, but it's fine. It's on curve. It gives us just a random chump blocking card, another 3/3 to support the card draw if we mill it over. As far as removal, Abrade is key because it hits God Pharaoh's Gift, as well as all the early game creatures. Then Savage Stop and Reckless Rage work really well with our big dinosaurs. Fighting lets us draw cards with our Ripjaw Raptor. We have huge Ghaltas running around and Combustible Gearhulks, so we usually have things to target and win the fight or deal damage to with Reckless Rage and kill our opponent's stuff. Mana base, we get a bunch of dual lands, a couple of deserts, including a Scavenger Ground, some basic lands. In the sideboard, a bunch more removal for aggro matchups. Chandra Defeat for mono red. Magma Spray also good in that matchup. Reckless Rage gets a little bigger things. Struggle to Survive as well. Also Graveyard Hate. Sweltering Suns as a sweeper. Naturalized Thrashing Brontodon to deal with artifacts and enchantments. Crook for Graveyard Hate. Vantage Blasting Cannons, mostly for controlling matchups. And Sandworm Convergence, actually kind of weirdly good since there's so many Rekindling Phoenixes floating around, Glory Bringers. So being a moat for flyers is actually pretty good at the moment in some matchups. And that is Ghalta Gearhulk Ramp for Standard, and that's our budget Magic deck for this week. So I'm really excited for this one. I just love the synergy of Combustible Gearhulk and Ghalta. I think that we'll lose to ourselves sometimes. We'll draw all ramp and no finishers, or all finishers and no ramp. That's kind of the curse of the ramp decks. As long as there have been ramp decks, that has been the curse of the ramp decks. But we are also going to hopefully get some really insane draws where we just turn 3 Ripjaw, turn 4 Regisar, turn 5 Ghalta, kill you on the spot, or Combustible Mill Ghaltas, 18U, 20U, kill you on the spot. So I'm excited to try it out. It should be pretty sweet, and hopefully we do some really cool things. So anyway, Ghalta Gearhulk Ramp, that's our budget Magic deck for this week. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the gameplay, and I will talk to you soon. If you're looking for a fashionable way to support the channel, make sure to check out the Ixalan t-shirt over at mtgoldfishmerch.com. Alright, budget Magic time. Playing some green-red Ram in Rivals of Ixalan Standard. Basically, looking to combustible, some Ghaltas. We'll see how it goes. This end's fine. We got a little bit of ramp, we got a mouth to feed. Ooh, ramp v ramp. Ramp battles. Ramp off. Forest go. So we'll see what our opponent's up to. Probably green-red monsters is the most common green-red deck. Ooh, Temur Energy? Still? You're still trying? Some people just never give up. Never give up, no matter how bad your deck is. You just keep trying. Well, I'd like to start ramping, but I think it's more important to just kill Servant. Pass the turn. Oh man, I really want to double Ghalta off Combustible and just kill someone from 20. That will make this deck worth it, all by itself. If we do that a single time. Ooh, opponent passes. Sweet. Well, let's Drover the Mighty. Play our budget duels. Pass the turn. Expecting Drover to die. Yeah. Well, that's definitely Temur Energy. Opponent. Alright, finds a land. Jadelight Ranger. Gonna go exploring. Glory Bringer. Probably gonna mill it. Yeah, mills Glory Bringer, hits a land. Opponent passes. Well, play Oasis, and we're just going to get down our Ripjaw Raptor. Hopefully we draw some lands to get to these combustibles. Haven't drawn a Ghalta yet, so maybe we hit them with combustible? I guess worst case we can mouth and then feed the next turn to draw some cards. It's slow though. Opponent. Bristles. Yep. Up to 7 energy. Opponent passes. Lands? Oh boy. Well, let's mouth. Pass the turn. Ugh, so slow. So many combustibles. So little ramp. Opponent passes. Alright, play another Ripjaw. Pass the turn. We can't really attack into Bristling Hydra. Man, we got these combustibles just sitting in our hand. Alright, kills our Rhino. Untaps. There's Glorybringer mana. Also Whirler Virtuoso mana. Yep. Opponent passes. Now let's draw 2. Hopefully hit some lands. Oh my god almighty. Alright, pass the turn. That is not how we were hoping that would go. Oh, we're having a good old time trying to find a land. Opponent's going to start thopping. Thopter. Yep. Untaps. Another Jade Light Ranger. Goes exploring. Ether Hub, Whirler Virtuoso. Yep. Dumps the Whirler. Plays the Ether Hub. Gets in with the Thopters. Well, we will take it. Oh, deck. Deck. Well, let's Savage Stomp. Kill a Thopter. Land? Alright, there's a land. So, play the land. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Play Drover. Play Ghalta. The good old 2-mana 12-12 with Trample. And we'll pass the turn. See what happens. Opponent's got to find a way to deal with Ghalta. Because that's a lot of damage. And we have another one in hand. Wow. Are we just stumbling our way to a win against Temur Energy? That did not used to happen. Alright, opponent abrades our Drover. Trying to keep us off our mana. We still have Ghalta in double Ripjaw Raptor. And we will eventually start casting Combustible Gearhulks. It is going to happen. When? That we don't know. But sooner or later. Could be next turn if we hit a land. Uh-oh. Opponent's got something. Steals a Ripjaw Raptor. That's annoying. The bigger one, too. Okay. And what do you got, opponent? Gonna slam into our Ghalta? Opponent. Passes. It's a tap land. Well, let's attack with Ghalta. See what our opponent does. Pumps Bristling Hydra. Blocks. Unblocks. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Alright, so everything in front of Ghalta. Okay. And then we just abrade a Jade Light Ranger. And blow our opponent out. Play Timber Gorge. And, I guess we pass. We might be doing it. I'm surprised our opponent didn't block with Ripjaw. Seems a little greedy. Chandra, Torch of Defiance. Not actually that good because our creatures are so big. Alright, Jade Light Ranger. Yup. Man, Ghalta is really big if you can't deal with it. And Temur Energy, not dealing with it. Explores. Harness Lightning. Yeah, they spent a little bit too much energy for that to actually work. Unfortunately, we've drawn Ghaltas, so we've drawn 2, so we're less likely to flip them off this combustible. These combustibles. But still, there's 6/6s that are doing something. I feel like we're in pretty good shape. Opponent plays Ether Hub. Opponent's just locked into Ghalta Chump. It's like, not even the Abyss, it's like triple Abyss. Opponent passes. Forest, well, let's attack with Ghalta at our opponent. Wow, takes it? I guess this means we're drawing 3 with this Combustible Gearhulk. No way our opponent lets us mill. Or else they're just giving up. Alright, let's just draw. Oh, there was a Ghalta too. Yeah, we'll pass. Can you beat this board, opponent? And this is with our opponent stealing one of our Ripjaw Raptors. Takes up Chandra. Good at finding those Jade Light Rangers. Opponent's on the no-scoop plan. They're not just giving up. Man, if Ghalta wasn't legendary... Harness Lightning, Bristling Hydra. Man, imagine if Ghalta wasn't legendary. 1, 2, 3, 4. We could just, like, Regisaur Alpha, Ghalta, attack for infinite. Ether Hub. Opponent. Passes. Ooh, Reckless Rage. Oh, play the Mountain. Attack our opponent, attack our opponent. Opponent blocks. And blocks. And blocks. And blocks. Sure. Don't you die to Combustible? Ah, I see. Well, kill Jade Light Ranger, draw a card. Well, our opponent lives temporarily. I guess we should have attacked with our Raptor, too. Yeah, we probably could have won one there, but, well, play another Combustible. This lets us cast more Combustibles. Ooh, opponent found a Gowner. All right, opponent, we'll pass. You're down to 2. You still have to beat a Ghalta. It has really been triple abyss. Yeah, we could have won that turn. Takes up, down to 15. And we got the GGs. Sweet. Well, stumbled on mana a bit, but still overcame the powered down version of Teamer Energy. Teamer Energy, eh? Why do we want to fight Teamer Energy? We can probably go down Brontodon, go up Chandra's Defeat. Sweltering Suns, Vance's Blasting Cannons. I don't know what we want to go down here. Maybe we just run it back like this? Like, Vance's Blasting Cannon could be good. Sweltering Suns can be good. Yeah, let's go up a Blasting Cannons. Go down I guess one Mouth to Feed. A Braid is probably necessary. Yeah, let's try it like that. Alright, I guess we're going to keep this. It's a little slow, but we are on the draw. We're just missing our ramp mountain for our opponent. And passes. Now, play Oasis. Land is fine, although our mana base is super painful at the moment. Come on, no Cubs. Forest. And passes. Well, that's good. Play a Forest, pass the turn. At least we can make green mana without paying a bunch of life now. Opponent. Island. Alright, Tron assembled. And, ooh, Nissa, eh? We're gonna have to pressure that. That could be a problem. Yep. Scries 2. And passes. Well, play the mountain and get down our mouth. Pass the turn. At least that's something that can attack at Nissa. Assuming our opponent doesn't go Forest Bristling Hydra. Ooh, Nissa gonna go Value Town. Oh. Okay. Whiffs. Harness Lightning. I guess we're just hoping to get lucky with Nissa. Well, now I think we're in decent shape. Play the mountain. Get down. Paying a life. Ripjaw Raptor. Pass the turn. We have 2 removal spells that can draw us cards with Ripjaw Raptor, which is good. I don't know about blind spinning at 3 with Nissa. I guess our opponent probably has a lot of hits. Still, probably just scrying there is better. Alright, opponent goes back to scrying. Oh, lesson learned. Opponent goes Whirling with the Virtuoso. I think this is going to end as a good turn for us. Whew. So we get to Savage Stomp, the Whirler Virtuoso. Opponent makes a Thopter. We draw a card. Then we will Abrade the Thopter. Kill Nissa. Oh man, that is a big swing in our favor. Play Rootbound Crag, pass the turn, and the dream is alive for next turn. Combustible Double Ghalta. We have a shot. We have a shot. Opponent, Ether Hub. Oh man, if they play Bristles, we can kill it on the stack. Alright, Whirler Virtuoso. Well, let's Reckless Rage. Draw a card. Drover the Mighty. Alright, that's good to get out of the way. Well, get in with Ripjaw for 5. Man, I wonder if our opponent lets us draw out of fear. Come on. This is what we've been working towards. Combustible. Opponent's choice. And... Yes! Ghalta! Ghalta! We Ghalted them! 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 18! 18! Not quite 20, but pretty close. Oh, we got him! 1 attack with a Ripjaw Raptor. Combustible Gearhulk, flip a Ghalta and a Regisaur Alpha, and yeah, that does it. That does it. Oh, sweet. Alright, budget magic time. Combustible Dinosaurs? I don't know what we're calling this deck yet. Calling it Mulligan, right here. Oh no. We're gonna try this. With double Drover, if we can scry into 1 land, this... Okay, there's a Forest. So this is fine. I mean, if our opponent can just keep killing our Drovers, it's less fine. But if our Drovers live, we can just ramp into Regisaur Alpha, and that's reasonable. Plains for our opponent. And Sky Marcher Aspirant. I'll play the Forest and Drover the Mighty. Ship the turn. Still wouldn't mind drawing more lands or non-creature ramp. Opponent. Sky Marching in. We're going to take it. We kind of need this Drover mana. Best draw here is just an untap land, and then we can kill something and Drover the Mighty. That's what we want. Tap land. Well, let's just play Timber Gorge and pass. I think... Alright, we're going to kill it right now. I think killing Metallic Mimic is more important than guaranteeing Regisar Alpha, especially since... Geez, more Mimics. Especially since if we draw an untap land, we can still just Regisar Alpha this turn. Legion's Landing, 2/2 lifelinker. And that's going to flip. Opponent gets in. Come on, deck. Oh boy. These tap lands are punishing us severely. Pass the turn. Oh, budget mana. How much fun. Opponent. Legion Conquistador. That's a lot of big vampires. I mean, Regisar Alpha is going to help, although the Sky Marcher Aspirant is going to get flying soon. Opponent's just going to refill their hand with Conquistadors. We might be in trouble here. Getting down Regisar Alpha last turn would have helped. Opponent gets in. We take it. A Braid. So awkward. Let's just Regisar Alpha. Pumps our Drover. Get in with the Dinosaur. Opponent blocks. Yep. Pass the turn. Hopefully our opponent's just playing one Conquistador this turn. Alright, there's Conquistador. That does give our opponent City's Blessing. Gets in with Sky Marcher. Yep. Forest. Well, play the Forest. I think we got to keep attacking. Play Regisar Alpha. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, plus Sheffet Dunes. Well, attack with all of our dinosaurs. Opponent blocks. Takes their beats down to 14. Alright, pass the turn. Combustible Gearhulk would be a pretty spicy draw here. I guess Gishath is not bad either. I think we gotta let this resolve. I think we gotta kill Sky Marcher Aspirant. So we stop taking this beat down in the air. Another Conquistador. Yep. Opponent gets it. Kill Sky Marcher. Come on, deck. Alright. Well, Ghalta. Ghalta's big. Do we attack with everything? Opponent has to block. We're at 10. 4, 8. Yeah, what's the worst that can happen? I guess we'll find out. Opponent blocks. And blocks. And blocks. And blocks. Yeah, we're pretty fine with this. Unblocks. Hasty Ghalta is pretty insane. Yup, So this puts our opponent to 1. Pass the turn. So our opponent needs a sweeper. If their last card is a sweeper, then we probably lose. Dust Dawn is... Alright, opponent does not have it. Yeah, Dust Dawn is what we were mostly afraid of. Whew! Alright, that went pretty spectacularly. So I'm guessing this is Mono White Monument, which I think means we want Sweltering Suns and Thrashing Brontodons. Also a Braid is good. We'll go down Reckless Rage. We'll go down... I think Savage Stomps and 1 Mouth to Feed. These are actually 3 drops. The Hasty Ghalta, pretty sweet. And yeah, I think we might just try it like this. Is it too risky to take down this removal? Yeah, I think that's fine. Brontodon seems sweet. It actually blocks a lot of their stuff, and it's just a main deckable way to blow up a monument if we need to. That card is really good. Okay. Kind of a controlling hand, but we have Thunderherd Migration, which gives us the Sweltering Suns, and we have a Braid for Monument, so I think this is fine. Sheffet Dunes for our opponent. And Legion's Landing. Yep. Well, Oasis, go. Opponent. Yeah, it's in for 1. Oh boy, are they in the 1-land plan? Looks like. Well, play a Mountain. Thunderherd. Reveal Ghalta. Grab a Mountain. Pass the turn. Getting close to Combustible fun. Opponent. Yeah, opponent's having some mana issues. Play Oasis, and I think we actually just drove her here, since that lets us Combustible next turn on turn 4, and maybe just win. And our opponent scoops it up. Does not have the mana to keep up with... Oh, I really wanted to cast that Combustible. Let's just for fun see what would have happened. So we would have drawn Regisar Alpha for the turn, played the land, Combustible. Opponent would be like, alright, we'll take the damage. 5, 0, only 7. Well, we still would have won easily. Sweet. Alright, Budget Magic time. Playing some Combustible Dinosaurs. Combustisaurs? I still don't know what we're calling this. Foul Orchard for our opponent. We're going to keep this. If we draw a dinosaur, we can Thunderherd on 2. If not, we can Thunderherd on 3. We're building towards our Combustible. A Braid's not a bad draw. Don't mind drawing that Braid here. Booming Marsh, so we can kill its Winding Constrictor. Or Walking Ballista. We can also kill that. Opponent passes. I'll play the Mountain, and yeah, we're just going to kill Ballista. I assume this deck is playing Blossoming Defenses, and we don't really want to deal with that. Still wouldn't mind drawing a dinosaur, especially now that we have the Savage Stomp. Finding, like, a Ripjaw Raptor would be pretty sweet. Opponent, Branchwalker. Oh, Green-Black Explorer? Fatal Push. That is a card that's not great against our deck. Opponent should probably mill it. Yeah, they mill. Get a Swamp. Come on, deck. Give us a dinosaur. Do we want to reveal it? Probably not. Let's just play the Mountain, and we're just going to full price Thunderherd Migration, get a Forest, pass the turn. I mean, we're not doing anything else this turn anyway, so we might as well not give our opponent the information that we have a Ghalta in hand. Opponent, Rishkar, Pima Renegade, pumping the dorks. Yup. I mean, once we draw dinosaurs, hopefully we go over the top of what our opponent's doing. Another Branchwalker. So opponent's just going wide. Mills Branchwalker. They do have a lot of mana from all these +1/+1 counter things. Come on, deck. Dinosaur? A Braid. Well, a Braid isn't bad. Actually, I think we just a Braid Rishkar right now, so our opponent does not have all this Branchwalker mana. Oasis. Yeah, there's Verdurous. Gonna pump the dorks. Well, it's gonna depend on what removal our opponent has. We're taking a huge hit of damage, but we're gonna get down to Combustible. Yeah, we take 10. If they have a removal spell for Combustible, actually, we're dead anyway, aren't we? All right, Combustible. Oh, our opponent's going to let us draw. Combustible Gearhulk. And we scoop it up. Yeah, our opponent managed to go wide enough. Well, hand was a bit too slow. Good hand, opponent. Maybe we should not have shown Combustible there. I guess there's some odd chance our opponent misplays. Well, let's bring in Sweltering Suns as additional removal. Go down a Mouth to Feed, and go down a Thrashing Brontodon. Try it like that. Yeah, Verdurous Gearhulk is a big creature. Well, we got the ramp. Hopefully we draw into something to cast before this Ghalta. We need to draw into a dinosaur. Timber Gorge. Pass the turn. Or Combustible. Combustible would be good. Swamp for our opponent. I'll play the Forest, and let's just Thunderherd, reveal Ghalta. Get a Mountain. Pass the turn. Come on, Combustible. Or any of our big stuff. Anything. Forest for our opponent. Branchwalker. Explores. Winding Constrictor. Removal would also be nice. Leaves Winding Constrictor on top. More lands. Play Rootbound Crag. Migration. Reveal Dinosaur. Grab a Forest. Drover the Mighty. Oh boy. Oh no, are we doing the classic all ramp, no action thing? It feels like. We're a draw away from that changing, though. Fatal Push. And Winding Constrictor. Come on, deck. You can do it. Gets in with Branchwalker. We need some action, deck. Combustible? Sweeper? Alright. Well, Ripjaw's fine. Play Ripjaw, play the Mountain. Pass the turn. Ripjaw at least gives us a good blocker. Forest for our opponent. Jade Light Ranger. Gonna do some exploring. Land and Verdurous. Oh, God. Alright. Well, this would be the greatest turn to draw a Sweltering Suns. Well, that's not bad either. We should be able to do this painlessly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, this is going to be a good turn. Regisaur Alpha. Ghalta. Primal Hunger. And we will just attack with everything. Opponent blocks. Drops to 4. And I don't even think Verdurous Gearhulk really saves our opponent here. Whew! Hasty Ghalta coming through. We found our action at the right time. Because we can even just Oasis Ghalta and make it 15 trampling power. And I think that, yeah, opponent cannot beat that, even with a Verdurous. Well, those were two swingy games. We got Verdurous to game 1, then in game 2, we basically did the Verdurous-ing with our Hasty Ghalta. Man, it's so insane when that happens. We didn't even draw Combustible. I guess we just keep it like this. Magma Spray doesn't kill Constrictor. Yeah, we're going to keep it like this. Well, not enough lands. Alright, we'll try this. We get to scry. Mouth to feed. I guess we keep that. That's a way we can draw some cards. Blooming Marsh for our opponent. Well, let's play Timber Gorge past the turn. Forest. Come on, no Winding Constrictor. It's a Winding Constrictor. Well, come on, a Braid. Savage Stomp. Well, Oasis. Man, are we just going to get buried under this Constrictor? Reveal a Dinosaur. Get a Forest. Pass the turn. This can go very badly. Jade Light Ranger. Well, that's less bad than some of the possibilities. Fatal Push on top. Mills it. Branch Walker on top. Mills it. That's a 6-5. Opponent goes attacking. Let's see what we draw. Combustible. Well, play Drover the Mighty. Play Rootbound Crag. Pass the turn. Not feeling super good. If our opponent can kill this, Branch Walker. Explores. Winding Constrictor. Man, no lands on top for our opponent. Goes attacking. Well, if we hit a land for Combustible, we could be okay. Savage Stomp. We do not. So, play Regisar Alpha. Play Regisar Alpha. Pass the turn. Man, a land would have been so helpful there. We have these two Savage Stomps, but we don't have enough mana to cast them this turn. Opponent has a Deadlands, up to 4 mana. Oh, they have Chupacabra? Oh my god. Wow. Well, opponent did a lot of exploring to find their land, and find it they did. Goes attacking. Well, we will kill Branch Walker, but I think we are pretty dead here now, unfortunately. There's a land, a bit too late. Yeah, that does it. That does it. Oh, we didn't have the answer at the right time, unfortunately. Ah, that was brutal. Alright, Budget Magic time. Playing some Combustible Dinosaurs, and no ramp, but we got dinosaurs, and we could draw into ramp. I mean, we have a ton of power. It's just slow power. Opponent's doing a bit of mulliganing. Well, that probably makes our slow power better. Rootbound Crag, pass the turn. Opponent, Blooming Marsh, and passes. Well, Rootbound Crag, pass the turn. Yeah, we're on the slow plan. Ether Hub. Alright, Sultai Energy, something like that. Glint Sleeve Siphoner, that's what you want to see when you do some mulliganing. Well, Savage Stomp is removal eventually, but it's not removal yet. Oh boy. Alright, opponent, you get to start drawing with your Siphoner. Opponent draws, down to 19. Spends their energy. Gets in with Siphoner. Yep, gets back in energy. Down to 18. Opponent, in the tank. Ooh, they have a mountain, alright. Interesting. Jade Light Ranger goes exploring. Land and Fatal Push. Gonna keep the Fatal Push, and passes. Well, play Oasis, play Ripjaw Raptor, and pass the turn. Yep, no energy. Opponent gets in with the Siphoner. Yeah, we take it. Down to 16. Another Ether Hub, and a Long Tusk Cub. Opponent passes. Savage Stomp is a bit risky. Let's just Scavenger Grounds and play Regisar Alpha. And no attacks. Siphoner. Is our opponent drawing? They are. Alright. Well, we're getting close to Combustible. We gotta play around this Fatal Push. We don't want to just get Raptor Fatal Pushed. Glorybringer? Alright, there's Glorybringer. That's actually pretty okay. So they can exert and kill Regisar Alpha. But then we can just Savage Stomp Glorybringer and pump our Ripjaw. Yep, kills Regisar Alpha. Down to 12. Well, let's Savage Stomp the Glorybringer. Draw a card. Play Drover the Mighty. Play Timber Gorge. And pass the turn. Leave up our Braid. No attacks. Actually, maybe we Abrade right now while our opponent can't Fatal Push. Yeah, let's Abrade Siphoner. Pass the turn. Swamp for our opponent. Emmet Eternal. Interesting. And another Siphoner. Yep. Opponent. No attacks. Well, it's Combustible time. Come on, Combustible. See if our opponent lets us draw. See what our opponent chooses. We could kill them if they mill. Opponent thinking. No death. No death to our opponent. Alright. We attack. Opponent blocks. So we trade with Emmet Eternal, then they get to Fatal Push like Drover. But we draw a card. Yeah, let's attack. That was not the best combustible. Opponent takes it. Interesting. Well, maybe they have like Glorybringer or something. No draw with Siphoner. Rootbound Crag. We know one of the two cards is Fatal Push. Non-Fatal Push card is Long Tusk Cub. Alright, that's fine. Opponent. We could draw another combustible, any of our dinosaurs. Opponent passes. It's a land. We'll play the forest. Alright, we know we have perfect information. Let's cast Thunderherd. Make Amit Eternal smaller. Grab a forest. We can pump here, attack, attack. Our opponent has to block both, but then they can Fatal Push and attack back. If we attack with just Raptor, block, I guess we're still killing two creatures, but our opponent doesn't have to block it. Alright, so I think what we do is just pump Ripjaw, go attacking. Opponent's got to block, and our opponent scoops it up. Sweet. Whoo, we got there. We got there. Well, we know what our opponent's doing now. They're playing Jund Energy, I guess. What do we want against Jund Energy? Probably Magma Spray, not Thrashing Brontodon. What else? Maybe like a Blasting Cannon? But what do we go down for Blasting Cannon? What do we cut? We need Ghalta for combustible. I guess we could cut a combustible. Yeah, let's cut one combustible. Try it like that. Seems reasonable. Huh. Well, we're going to keep this because Double Abrade is good. And we'll draw green mana eventually, and then we can ramp into this Regisaur Alpha. So even though our mana is a little bit questionable here, I think it's worth holding on to. Yeah, we're going to keep it. Trust in the heart of the cards to find us our green mana. Dragon Skull Summit for our opponent. Alright, there's green mana. Well, that's a very good draw. We have our braids and can eat them too. Opponent, Swamp. We'll play the Mountain, Thunderherd, Migration, Reveal, Ripjaw, get a Forest, and pass the turn. Hopefully our opponent's on Amit Eternal. Whoo, that works out. Alright, opponent plays Amit Eternal. So now we get to Scavenger Grounds, play Drover, put a counter on Amit Eternal, and then Abrade Amit Eternal, plus put a counter on it, and it dies. Pass the turn. And if our Drover lives, we get to start the onslaught of Regisaur Alphas. If not, we go on the Ripjaw Raptor plan. Alright, more Amit Eternals. We draw a Mountain. Well, alright, let's do the same thing. Let's play Ripjaw Raptor. Put a counter on Amit Eternal. Our Abrades are definitely paying off here. And then Abrade, Amit Eternal. It looks like a 5/5 for 3, but really it still dies to Abrade every turn. Pass the turn. And now we're in pretty good shape. And our opponent scoops it up. Yeah, dealing with the two Amit Eternals is enough with the dinos coming. Yeah? Yeah, not bad. Not bad at all. Alright, Budget Magic time. Playing some Combustible Ghalta? Ghalta Gearhulkosaurs? The deck suite, the name not so much. Irrigated Farmland. Looks like we're up against control. Play the Mountain, pass the turn. Cycling, approach, something along those lines. Opponent. Oh, alright. It's Boggles. Abrade, Ripjaw Raptor. Well, let's get down Drover the Mighty. Pass the turn. Our curve is good, assuming this Drover lives. Unfortunately, this SRAM is a lot of card advantage for our opponent. Curious Obsession, draws a card, pumps the SRAM, can draw more cards. Oh my god. Yep, we take 3, opponent draws a card. Hopefully they don't go land removal spell. Well, we need to top deck Abrade now. Well, cast Mouth, pass the turn. Not sure that's going to be enough, though. That Baffling End is absolutely brutal. Cartouche for our opponent. Pumps the SRAM, gives it first strike, makes it Dork. Curious Obsession, draws a card. Opponent gets in for 4, draws more cards. Yeah, if it wasn't for that Baffling End, we'd be okay. But that Baffling End really wrecked us. Opponent, Sky Marcher Aspirant. Has old turn 4 City's Blessing. Yeah, I mean, we can play Ripjaw Raptor, but it's just too late. That Baffling End got us. Didn't draw any removal. Had a good Dino Curve, but a good Dino Curve doesn't do much here. Temet, Vizier of Nakamun. Alright. Well, we get to go to sideboarding and bring in some good stuff. Yeah, we're just going to concede here. Their draw was good. The problem is we couldn't kill Sram. Good news is, Magma Spray comes in, 2 Sweltering Suns come in. Go down. Actually, Thrashing Brontodon does kill auras. Maybe it's worth it. I don't know how to make this work, though. Maybe we gotta just go down the mouth to feeds. It does weaken our Gearhulks. Go Sweltering Suns Brontodon. Magma Spray. Yeah, let's go down to Combustible. Try it like that. Alright, we're on the play. And we'll keep this. We got the removal spells. We got a Ripjaw, which will be good eventually. So let's play Timber Gorge, pass the turn. We don't have any ramp, don't have that many crazy threats, but hopefully our sweeper is good enough. Play the forest, pass the turn. Island for our opponent. And a Danto Vanguard. That is a little bit problematic. Opponent gets in. We'll play the mountain, pass the turn. I think I see where this is going. Our main plan for a Danto Vanguard is just to go bigger than it. We don't actually have a way to just kill it. Opponent plays Sram, so they're going to get to draw 1 card. Well, kill Sram. Opponent pumps. We take 5. Danto Vanguard. This might just be a rough matchup. Down to 15. Well, play the mountain and get down Ripjaw Raptor. Pass the turn. Cartouche gives a Danto's Vanguard flying, draws a card. Chef at Dunes. Sky Marcher Aspirant. Opponent gets in for a bunch in the air. Yep, down to 9. Well, let's Sweltering Suns. Sweep the board, draw a card. Get in with Ripjaw Raptor. Play Timber Gorge, pass the turn. I think we're just dead to this Vanguard, though. Adorn Pouncer for our opponent, plays a land. And Adorn Pouncer for our opponent. Gets in for 5. And yeah, we're just, opponent got it. Ooh, Thrashing Brontodon lets us maybe stay alive. Actually does it. So we have to sack to kill Cartouche, but then we're still dead. We can play Combustible, but our opponent just lets us draw, and then we lose. Yeah, Thrashing Brontodon a bit too late here. A Danto Vanguard, the flying part of it is certainly a nightmare. We'll play Combustible and then we'll scoop. There's no way our opponent says anything but draw because we're dead on board. But we'll run it out there, just on the off chance our opponent misclicks or something. Not misclicks, but misunderstands. Opponent plays properly, we scoop. Yep. So what do we learn this week about Ghalta Gearhulk Ramp in Standard? And overall, I think the deck is really fun. So we finished our matches on video 3 and 2. We actually lost 1 extra match, so we were 3 and 3 overall, which is, it's fine for a budget deck, 50-50. I think it's really explosive, and we have a really good curve in nut draw. So if things just go according to plan, we can turn 2 ramp, turn 3 Ripjaw, turn 4 Regisar Alpha, and that sets us up for turn 5 Hasty Ghalta or Combustible, Milling Ghalta, maybe just winning the game on the spot. So we have a really strong curve in nut draw. The problem comes in is kind of twofold. There's 2 things that can really go wrong in the deck. First, if our opponent's playing a lot of removal, we lost some games just because we have like 3 lands, a Drover of the Mighty or 2, opponent's able to fatal push our Drover of the Mighty, and we're stuck with all these 4 and 5 and 6 and 12 drops in hand, not being able to cast them. Also, half of our removal is dependent on having creatures, and it's great when it goes well. If we have a Ripjaw Raptor out and we're Savage Stomping and Reckless Raging, it's insane. If we don't have any creatures out, we're not even able to kill our opponent's stuff and we get run over. So that's kind of one problem. The other problem we run into is kind of the typical ramp deck problem. We have hands where we just draw all lands and all ramps, and let's say all Ghaltas, because Ghalta's really bad in that situation, and none of our Raptors and Regisar Alphas and Combustible Gearhulks, and then we really struggle. On the other hand, we can get hands that are all Regisar Alphas and Combustibles and Ghaltas, but no ramp, and then all of a sudden, we're just so slow trying to play those cards naturally without a ramp spell, so we really need the right mixture. We need that ramp spell on turn 2, a couple of threats, then the deck is absolutely insane, but being red and green, even with mouth to feed, which does give us some card advantage, we don't really have tons of ways to just cycle through our deck, find our pieces, smooth out our draws, so I think that's kind of the problems that we run into with the deck. But like I said, the upside is we have really explosive nut drawy curves that are not all that far-fetched. It's not like we're trying to put together an against odds combo. Just any of our 8 Ram spells into Ripjar, into Regisar, that's already really good, and that sets us up for either Combustible or Ghalta as our finisher. So I don't know. I think the deck is super explosive, super fun. It's competitive enough, although it does lose to itself a little more than I would like, and if our opponent's just playing a ton of removal, especially hard removal, cast outs, Faraska's Contempts, Fumigates, then we can run into problems. As far as Ghalta and Combustible Gearhulk, kind of the 2 namesake cards in the deck, they are very high risk, high reward. That is basically the only way to kind of describe them. So with Ghalta in specific, when things are going well, it's an awesome finisher, and it is very, very scary, very, very good. The ability to hasten in with Regisar is awesome. Even just a 12-12 trample, we saw people just having a full board full of like energy threats and trying to chump block or multiple block their way through a Ghalta, and it just doesn't really work out. It's very hard to deal with once it's on the battlefield. We also saw the downside where we had hands where we had 2 Ghaltas in hand, our opponent was able to kill our stuff on board, and we could just never cast the Ghaltas. They were just always in our hand. Combustible, on the other hand, is really scary for our opponents, especially when they don't know what's going on. Once they realize that there's a realistic shot they get 20'd if they mill the cards, it's kind of destroying us cards, and often that's fine. If we're not too far behind, that's fine. But we definitely had some games as well where we were pretty far behind on board, we cast the Combustible Gearhulk, and we knew we were just dead unless our opponent misplayed. Like, our opponents were like, sure, draw 3 cards, tack back, kill you. So that's kind of the downside of it. So both of our big finishers are really swingy. When they're good, they are insanely good. We definitely 18 someone for lethal with Combustible Gearhulk. We definitely hasted in the Ghalta with Regisar Alpha, just trampled over for the crazy win early in the game. On the other hand, we definitely saw the bad side too, where we just had Ghaltas rotting in our hands because we didn't have creatures to reduce the cost. Combustible coming down, our opponent being like, sure, draw, I'll swing back and kill you. So they're very risky and swingy, but if you like fun, swingy, crazy decks that are competitive enough, I feel like you can definitely win games with this deck. We got decent removal, we got good creatures, we got a great finish, we got some surprising value with Combustible Gearhulk, so you definitely can win with it. So if you like those style of decks, I think Ghalta Gearhulk Ramp is a really good option. On the other hand, if your opponents are all playing hardcore control with tons of removal and just able to kill all your stuff, then this deck gets a little bit worse and can struggle because we don't really have the resilient threats. Anyway, that's been our Budget Magic deck for this week. Ghalta Gearhulk Ramp for Standard. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the videos, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, help us out by clicking that like button down below. And to keep up on all the latest and greatest, click that subscribe button. And don't forget to hit that bell icon to get alerts whenever we have new videos. And if you want to, check out some of our other sweet videos here and here.